I want to talk about where each of these link types should be pointing on your site. Now, some of them are pretty obvious, but others of them are not. And I want you to understand this because it'll make your life easier when doing outreach. So you're not doing outreach and sending somebody your homepage or your product page when it really should be a piece of content, and also to take advantage of the link types where you can link to your homepage or product and services page. So I'm going to run you through each single link that I've trained you on and the different places on your website that it could be linking to and really should be linking to. So as you can see here, I've got three buckets. I've got your homepage, I've got your product and services page, and I've got your on-site content. Now this is like your blog, if you've got videos, guides, anything that you would consider content and not really sales, right? So anything value added and not necessarily branded or sales content gets put into the bucket over here. So now let's just go ahead and run through these. Now try and pay attention because it's going to get very, very, very confusing and cross wires here. So the first one up is link roundups. Now again, link roundups are when people are doing like top 10 posts of the week, my favorite posts of the month. So just by knowing what a link roundup is, 100% of the time it's going to be going to on-site content because they are featuring their favorite content or favorite updates of that given time period. So link roundups are almost exclusively going to be going to content on your site. You might get a homepage here, link here and there just from a branded mention when they talk about it or link to you, but 99% of the time it's going to be going to the page on your site, and you are always pitching content for link roundups. So next up is resource pages and broken links. Now again, just by definition, resource pages point to resources, right? So a resource page is like if you're on an attorney's website and they have resources to help you out through your legal process, right? They're probably going to be linking to like the DOJ, stuff like that. Unless you're a big authority brand, then a resource is going to be a piece of content on your site. So the same thing with broken links. When you're pitching broken links, you're going to be pitching a piece of content on your site to replace that broken link. With that being said, if you do have a SaaS or a product, sometimes you can get resource pages and broken links to your product and services page, right? So for example, let's say that you have a WordPress plugin that helps with, changing the color of fonts. If somebody has a resource page for the top WordPress plugins, you can check it for broken links and then pitch your WordPress plugin instead of that. And of course, it's going to be linking to either your homepage or your product or services page. So in that sense, you could be pitching a product or service page, but 9 times out of the 10, especially if you're a service-based business, you're going to be pitching content. So guest posts. Now, guest posts, honestly, I've said it before, guest posting is about 70% of the link outreach that I do. And I do that because the number one link type that I get is to the money pages, product and service pages, because guest posts, you control the content, you control everything. You can actually write that link into the post and make it fit in so it's natural within that context. Next up, of course, is home pages. If your home page is your money page, you can link to there too. And I also, honestly, I prefer to use guest. I just prefer to rank content myself. I think it's more powerful. And you can link to content. Obviously, it's especially when you get into authority guest posting with big sites, you're going to want to be linking to content and not trying to jam in your product and services pages. But with that being said, it's very, very doable. Sponsored posts are up next. And again, because you're paying for that content, you can link to whatever you want. However, you should be very, very careful. Homepages obviously too, and then content as well. But you should be very careful because if that site is clearly just brokering links, I would err on linking to on-site content as opposed to, again, trying to get a product or a services page to rank because it's just a little bit spammier. So I would, depending on the quality of the sponsored post site, I would look into linking to content instead. Link reclamation. Okay, so link reclamation is when a number of things. Number one, it's when a website used to be linking to yours and stopped linking to it. If that's the case, then you're just going to reach out and you're going to reclaim the lost link for wherever it came from on your site. However, most of the link reclamations will be to content in homepages, because if you're doing a good job creating content, if you're a brand, these are pretty much unlinked mentions. So if Huffington Post is writing an article about widgets and your company is widgets, then you can send them a picture and say, hey, you mentioned me in this article, but you didn't link to us. Would you mind linking to us? Either they're going to link to your homepage as a branded mention, or they're going to link to a piece of relevant content on your site. So that's link reclamation. Press links. Press links most of the time will go to your homepage because a lot of true press links are branded mentions. With that being said, if you are doing link building, your press links will probably actually be going to a piece of content, because the way that press works again is you're going to have to build a relationship in pitch. And when you're pitching, you're probably pitching something of interest or something of value. So if you have a really cool infographic on your site, if you built a really cool tool, you pitch a reporter and they will link to that tool or infographic on your site. If it's a true press mention, if you're working with a PR firm, it'll go to your homepage. And also too, again, if you're a SaaS or if you have a cool product, again, this is mostly for products and software type stuff. If you got something really cool, entrepreneur will write a story about how your product is revolutionizing software, and they'll link to your product or service page. For most people watching this, I'm sure that's not the case. No offense, it doesn't happen to me either. But so local bloggers. So again, so local bloggers is when we just find bloggers using local search modifiers, and we either do a guest post exchange or we offer to buy a post on their site. And for when we do that, it'll probably be going to your homepage or product or services page or content. It could be going to anyone. This is just very similar to sponsored posts and guest posts. You really have pretty good control over where that link is because you're paying for it or because you're guest posting on their site. Now, infographics. So this is infographic pitching. This is not infographic submission. So this is not going to like visually and submitting it. This is when you build an infographic and then you pitch it to a blogger to feature on their site. And when they do that, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be going to your homepage. 9 times out of 10, it's going to go to your homepage because it's going to be a mention, right? So it's going to be like infographics submitted by Ryan Stewart, and they're probably going to link to your homepage. Again, 9 times out of the 10, that's where it'll be going. So infographics are actually really good to get some homepage links, assuming it's a good infographic. Meetups, speaking engagements, and podcasts. These are almost exclusively going to be going to your homepage, again, because these are branded mentions 9 times out of 10, especially podcasts and speaking engagements. They're going to say, Ryan Stewart is speaking at the email event. For more information about his brand, click here, and it'll be going to my homepage. So profiles, videos, and submissions. So these are profile links like Moz profile or I don't know, TechCrunch, wherever, a profile link. Donation links is when you donate to a site. Video links is just YouTube or wherever, and then submission links. So this submission links, I use infographics for submission links, so that's submitting it to Visually, submitting it to Tumblr posts, this and that. 9 times out of 10, again, those are going to homepage. Those are mention type links, so those should be going to your homepage. Forums and comments. Now this one, a lot of people try and jam these into product and services pages. Do not do that. These are actually meant to go to content, because if you're doing blog commenting and forum commenting right, you're engaging in a conversation. And when you're engaging in a conversation, you're not going to be talking about your brand unless your brand was mentioned. And 10 times out of 10, that's not the case. Forums are discussing issues, they're discussing hot topics, and you drop a link as supporting content, supporting evidence. So if I'm talking in Quora or I'm talking in Warrior Forum about an SEO proposal, and I see somebody posted about an SEO proposal, then I would drop a link to the SEO proposal blog post on my site, right, or the resource page or wherever. You're citing your comment with a link. It's not the other way around. You're not commenting with a link and then trying to make it fit. It's just not going to get approved. So to do that the right way, you got to drop it to a piece of content. So whew, that was all done off the top of my head. That was pretty impressive, right? I know links. So that hopefully that helps you out, and hopefully helps to wrap up this course too, to really kind of give you the full picture. I'm working with my designer right now and figuring out a way to demonstrate this in a not so chaotic way, so you can just reference it when you want. But I suggest watching this video a couple times, maybe taking notes to really hammer out each of the link types that we discussed in great detail and exactly where on your site they should be going. So this actually wraps up the course. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I am around in our private forum, our private Facebook group. Please ask me questions. I'll also have my team in there doing everything in our power to get them answered as quickly as possible. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the forum.